Okay, welcome back to my shop. I just did a freelance job, which was a little extra spending money, so I was able to go out and get this. This is something I've been eyeing up. I've seen it on some podcasts, and I've seen people use it, and it really seems like a good product. Some of the reviews I've seen were pretty good. So I decided, well, I think it might be a good addition to the shop. It is kind of a luxury. At this point, my major tools are bought. It is sort of a luxury. I'll also be buying and showing you guys shortly too an air cleaner, and I'll be getting that within the next couple weeks as I take on some of these extra jobs to pay for all this stuff. But we're going to do a quick review on this. We'll open it up together, take a look at it, and see how it is. So this is the Ridgid Oscillated Edge and Spindle Sander. It's nice. It's got not only a spindle that goes up and down, but also an oscillating belt sander. Let's take a look at it. Okay, let's cut this open. So it looks like on the top here we do have a thing. This is an orange thing. We'll set that aside till we know what it is. One of these fancy writing things that tells you how to put stuff together. Some sanding sleeves. Bunch of rubber. I guess that's for the sander. Goes on the sleeves. We have the entire mechanism there. Some knobs, locks, buttons, washers. I think maybe they're for the plates, I don't know, for the spindles. We have styrofoam. We have one spindle sander, and another thing of styrofoam. So, looks like there is some assembly required. Why not? We'll go through this together. Unit is not too bad. It's definitely liftable. Two handles on each side. I already have a spot to store it over on the storage underneath my outfeed table. Aluminum, nice miter track. Let's say construction-wise, pretty good. So, why don't we put this together? Put this together. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. So we got some storage on the back, which is nice. We also, underneath this folding, which is nice, it has indents for different degrees, including 90 and level, or I mean 45 and level. But we also have storage under here for the various parts, which is really nice. And I can keep the spindles under there. Pretty cool. I'll be able to keep everything on there nice and level. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go here and we're going to level this plate. There's some nuts and washers in there. Basically with just with this Allen wrench, we can raise and lower then you just raise this plate up. Up too high there now. I'm just going to get it by eye here. And they sit on these metal tabs down below. They're kind of thin, so sometimes they miss, but if you just kind of get it in there right. Right, and there we go. Okay, these washers are for the top of the spindles. Set those aside. Next, we're going to flip it over. Now, they also give you storage for these in the back. Basically, they give you 4 of these kind of rubber feet. And they just slip into these. And you go ahead and you just push them in. They also give you other options too. You can take the feet off and mount it directly to a workbench. There's holes that you can drive bolts through. Another option, which I have also considered, is to mount it to a board that I could then bring out and clamp onto the workbench. I'm just going to do it with the rubber feet for now, see how that works. If it moves around too much, I will put a board on it and clamp it to that. There's plenty of storage space. Here are the plates for the discs. They all have a place to go. These washers, which go on the top of the spindles, like this, right? When you clamp them down, they have spots. Even the tiniest washer has a nice little spot. These all have a spot with the rubber tubes. Now this, the smallest one, doesn't have a rubber tube because it fits directly onto the shaft. But everything has a spot. Now, when I go to store it and I lower it, that'll keep everything in its spot and we won't lose anything. It's a really nice added feature. It's well thought out. I'm really glad to see that. So, a couple things left to do. One is put in the child safety lock, like that. And the last part is this knob that goes up there, but that's when we'll assemble it. So let's put in a sanding drum and give this thing a shot. Okay, go ahead and put this in. All right, I'm going to try this large one. Just slide right down. Needle washer. I think this is the right one. Now this thread is reversed, which has to do with the fact that it won't come loose while it's spinning. Okay, we'll go ahead, I'll plug it in and we'll give it a test. Yeah, that works much better. And it does a real nice job too. Real nice job. Okay, I'm really happy. Let's swap it out and go ahead and try the other attachment. Let me unplug it first. Excuse me. Okay. Pull that plate out and go with this attachment. Okay, that's down. Put the belt on, 80 grit belt. Let me put this on. There we go. Slip the belt on. Lock it down. Now, we have this, which is a stop piece. And that'll hold the piece or whatever I'm working on. I can also run a miter gauge in here too. I'll just pull the one. It doesn't come with one, but that's the one from my bandsaw, right? And I could use that, right? Also, now, this also comes in with a 2.5-inch dust port on the back, right here. And I will be hooking that up to my dust collection. I have to get the adapter to go from 4 inches to 2.5. Other than that, I think this is great. This is going to really help out with a lot of projects and make sanding not so much of a pain in the neck. I do sand some stuff. I've done a lot of sanding where I've kind of just gone, and if I can do it with a plane, I can. I need to get a smoothing plane, but I'm real happy with this. I don't think you can beat it. Cost me about $200. It's not, you know, cheap, but it's a little better than how I was doing it, which was a spindle in my drill press, which will work. You can do that. One of the things you got to keep in mind when you do something like that is it doesn't oscillate, so it doesn't go up and down. So you don't get quite as good of a surface. If you're willing to work around that, that's not too bad. You do most of your stuff with an 80 grit, maybe a 120, and then you hand sand to pull out any of those rough scratches. One of the things you keep in mind is the way your chuck is in the drill press, it's just a friction fit up there. So if you're putting a lot of sideward pressure, it's not that great on the bearings. And my chuck did come out one time and I damaged my spindle that goes all the way up my drill press, and I had to fix that. But other than that, I mean, it's doable. You can do it, no problem. You don't need one of these. This is definitely a luxury for me. I felt a little guilty buying it, I'm going to have to say. Yeah, I put it in the cart and I'm like, yeah, like it's going to be nice in the shop, but it's really, I think, a luxury for me. But I think it's a luxury that I'll get a lot of use out. And, you know, it's not a $2,000 huge oscillating spindle sander. But for my small shop, I think this is a good addition. The size is good. I can store it on my underneath my outfeed table. And I really think I'll be using this a lot. Just will save me a lot of time. So if you have the money and if you are looking for something like this, I do recommend it so far. I mean, you saw all the sanding I've done with it. So we'll see over time, but it's got some nice features. I like all the onboard tool storage. I like that everything is kind of contained in one spot. Will really help me out in my small shop. Yep. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, until next time, thank you for coming to my shop. See you later.